and welcome to City Wrap Ramadan. It's the start of the weekend, and to kick it off, today's program will teach you how to cook a fantastic seafood iftar. And we'll be finding out how new technology and applications are helping Muslims observe their holy month. Now, since it's the weekend, we thought we'd really outdo ourselves with prizes. Check out all the amazing items up for grabs in tonight's competition. 2 perfumes and a watch from Paris Gallery, vouchers to the Amara Spa Park Hayat, vouchers to Wafi restaurants, iftar vouchers to the Address Hotels and Resorts, Lady Million Absolutely Gold perfume, a bag filled with makeup from Bourjois, a bundle of Sally Hansen products, and a million Absolutely Gold perfume. If you would like to take home these prizes, stay tuned to find out how you can take part in tonight's competition. Now, for centuries, Ramadan traditions have remained the same, but technology has now become a key player in the way millions observe their practices. For many, the Muadhin's call to prayer and the Musaharati's reminder to wake up for suhoor are being replaced by mobile apps. Priyanka Dutt talked to the developer of one of the newest Ramadan apps in the market to find out more.
Imagine if through the holy month of Ramadan, not only were you notified during the call to prayer, but also at the touch of a button had access to important dates and events throughout Islamic history.
Mostly apps which are present in the Play Store are actually using the GPS to get the location of the user and then calculate the prayer timings and Qibla direction based on that location. But most of the time when we are inside our apartment or room, GPS location is unavailable. So you have to go offline. So in my app, there is an offline location database that you can get the user location. You can get the user location based on that database, and a user can actually select the location offline to get the prayer timings and Qibla direction.
This app goes much beyond just giving the Adhan timings every day. Tell us about some of the new features you have launched.
There are special duas regarding the Ramadan, like when you are starting your fast, when you are breaking your fast, when you're breaking your fast at someone's home, when you are at fast and someone is rude to you, and when you are seeing the moon, and when you are getting the season's first dates. There are special duas regarding Ramadan that you should have on daily basis, especially on the night of Laylatul Qadr. Also, there is a particular feature that actually is targeting the main Islamic historic events, like the Shahadat of Hazrat Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu, Wiladat of Hazrat Hassan radiallahu ta'ala anhu, and the first battle of the Islam, Ghazwa Badr. These are so many important events that took place in Ramadan. So user can select the date in the calendar and then see which event it actually took place on date in the back history.
Tell us where it all began. Did you think there was a need in the market for such an app?
Most of the times, even kids are not aware of these historical events, and even the elders doesn't know that our Islamic history contains so much important events, particularly on Ramadan. This is not just a month to worship Allah and to make fast. This is actually a month to get the lessons from the history as well, that Muslims were fasting and they were actually struggling against their uprise during the Ramadan. I am particularly talking about the Ghazwa Badr, which is actually the first battle of the Islam.
Now this app ties on history with technology, so you obviously had to do a lot of research while developing this.
There are so much books available, and there are particularly some sites available like Search Through, Seek Guidance, and some sites like this. So I got the information from the internet actually, and then actually verified that information, because every time you are getting the information from internet is not very authentic. So you have to go to the hadith references and other things to verify that information. It is a text form that user can select the date from the calendar, and then based on that date, a title will be appeared. Clicking on that title, detail of that particular event will be appeared.
Thanks to Priyanka for that report. We will be talking more about Islamic apps just after the break, but first it's time to check with our Ramadan calendar to find out which activities and outings we should be scheduling in this month. for a break. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes to learn how technology can help us with our daily Islamic practices. And if you're a fan of seafood, start making your way into the kitchen. Our daily cooking class is coming up. Welcome back to City Wrap Ramadan. With technology seeping into every aspect of our lives, it's no surprise to see its impact on religion. Developers from around the region have created Islamic apps that allow users to take part in Ramadan practices and activities with greater ease. Here to tell us how great apps and features can help us learn more about Ramadan traditions is Abbas Jafar Ali, the director and founder of Tea Break Media. Welcome to the show.
Thanks very much for having me.
Lovely. So now, these days, we have so many different types of phones, and obviously what comes along are applications. So what sort of applications are the developers from the regions creating now?
Okay, so the region's got a talented pool of application developers. We've got some wonderful developers. We had an ArabNet Summit, excuse me, just a couple of weeks back actually, and they showcased some really, really great apps. Now, the wonderful thing about Ramadan is a lot of these apps surface. A lot of people are searching for apps related to religion, so a lot of developers in the region get a chance to showcase their apps, you know, better than any other part of the world. And doesn't matter what the platform, be it Apple, be it Android, be it Nokia's Microsoft Windows, or be it the BlackBerry platform. All of them have great apps developed for the Ramadan region. Yeah.
So how would you compare the talent in app creations in this region compared to the rest of the world?
I think there are some great app developers over here. We've got some apps locally developed, such as Wally, for example. It's a great expense tracking app. We have a couple of transaction apps that have been developed in the region, such as Beam, which works beautifully. So we have some great talent in the region. I think there are some wonderful developers in the region. I think it's just a matter of time before it explodes. We've sort of started scratching the surface of it.
Lovely. Okay, so going back to Ramadan apps, why is it a good time for the developers to release their apps?
Right. I think a lot of people sort of look for apps related to religion and spirituality in this part of, in this time of the world, actually, in this time of the calendar. Everybody tries to sort of be a little bit more religious when it comes to Ramadan, just try to make sure you're a better person. So that's why a lot of apps are released in Ramadan to sort of help tackle that. I think it's easier for developers to get noticed as well with Ramadan apps. A lot of companies such as Microsoft or BlackBerry would help invest in developers as well to make sure they get a great app going for their particular mobile experience. So that is why we see a lot of apps surface up during this part of the year.
Interesting. Now, I understand you've got a few phones
That's right.
With you. So if you could just go through some of the apps.
Sure, absolutely. Let me just pick up this Windows phone right now. It's a Nokia phone, and let's just kind of make sure that we are, there we go. Great, excellent. Hope you can see that screen. Right. So there's this particular app for Ramadan on Windows Mobile. I think it's a great app. It sort of just encompasses all parts of Ramadan into one app. You have different apps doing different things, but this one sort of does pretty much everything. So for example, as you can see on the screen right now, it's mentioning the time for prayers right now. For today, and you've got iftar as well, that you have that. Again, all the prayer times, a little selection, read of the day, fatwa, Holy Quran, wallpapers, cooking, you know, and
nice.
non-Muslims as well. So a little bit of education for non-Muslims over what Ramadan is about. Nice app that sort of encompasses all of that. And then finally, you have some tools which help you locate Qibla, for example, if you're just not necessarily in your time zone or in your country. It's got radio streaming, it's got Quran calculator, so a lot of very, very cool things just encompassed in this particular app. There are tons of apps. Let me just go ahead and pull up the BlackBerry now.
Sure.
Here, what I just did before we started the show was run a quick search on Ramadan apps.
Okay.
And the list that sort of came up is, as you can see, there are quite a few different apps that have come up on here. Some of these apps are quite interesting. There's one called Ramadan Achievements. Let me just quickly read a quick summary of this. It says, show how merciful you are during the Ramadan. This is the best time of the year to do something good to people around you. So what this application does is helps you remember all the good things you can do in Ramadan, such as, you know, send neighbors some iftar, feed a homeless person, feed a poor person. So it has these checklists that you can sort of go through. You know, just makes you make sure that you do some good deeds during Ramadan. There's also another one called Traditions in Ramadan.
Okay.
This one sort of lets you see different traditions that Muslims carry throughout different parts of the world, not just necessarily here.
Interesting.
So it tells you, you know, what goes on in Ramadan in different parts of the world. And again, as you can see, tons of applications, lots and lots of applications over here that you can just browse through. I'm sure you're going to find something that you will like. On the lighter side, there are a couple of apps that sort of help you. There's one called Zomato, which basically lists restaurants around you serving iftar and suhoor. Wonderful little app. I mean, very out of the box, not necessarily something you would associate with Ramadan, but I mean, they've done a good job with that. I think that's a great idea. Then you've got the Shahid app as well, which sort of lets you stream all the TV applications or dramas that people watch during Ramadan. So there's a lot of lighter side of it as well. Plenty of space for application developers to sort of showcase their skills and relate it in some fashion or the other and tie it up with Ramadan.
To Ramadan, lovely. Now, out of these different phones and programs, which do you suggest or feel has got the maximum or a lot of variety?
That's a very hard question. I think all platforms have got great apps. It's sort of, we've reached at a time where whether you have an iPhone or Android or Windows Phone or BlackBerry, all of them will have some great applications developed for them. So I don't think it's, you know, I wouldn't recommend any one particular over the other. I think it just depends on the phone you have. Just go and search for Ramadan at the App Store in your phone, and you're going to likely end up with tons of applications that will help you, you know, make sure that
definitely
Ramadan
will find
goes
something that you're looking for.
For sure.
Lovely. Well, thank you so much for being with us.
Pleasure, absolutely.
Thank you. It's time to give away some prizes with this evening's competition. But first, a quick reminder of what's up for grabs. 2 perfumes and a watch from Paris Gallery, vouchers to the Amara Spa Park Hyatt, vouchers to Wafi Restaurants, iftar vouchers to the Address Hotels and Resorts, Lady Million Absolutely Gold Perfume, a bag filled with makeup from Bourjois, a bundle of Sally Hansen products, and 1 million Absolutely Gold Perfume. And for your chance to win, all you have to do is visit facebook.com/CityWrap and answer this question. What is meant by the word Muslim? A. One who prays facing the Kaaba. B. One who gives himself to God. Or C. One who fasts during Ramadan. We'll be announcing the winner of tonight's competition on our Facebook page on Sunday. So make sure to check in with us to find out if you're the lucky winner. Now, it's time for another quick break, but we'll be right back with a unique barbecue fish recipe from one of our favorite chefs, Chef Samir Miglani. See you in a few. Welcome back to City Wrap Ramadan. You're just in time for our Ramadan special recipes segment. This evening, Chef Samir Miglani from the Movenpick Hotel is here ready to show us how to barbecue a whole fish for a fantastic seafood iftar. Something's fishy in the kitchen today.
Absolutely, Alam. We've got, in fact, a small souk, souka samak, as we call it, with all the local sustainable fish of snapper, of sherry, of mullet, of safi, which is, you know, not the endangered species and part of the Go Healthy campaign at Movenpick Hotels and Resorts.
Lovely.
So today we are going to be doing a barbecued snapper with a lime chili and garlic dip.
Okay, sounds interesting.
Should I get cracking then?
Yes, please.
All right, without throwing anything in the pan. All right.
I don't see any oil.
All right. So that's the snapper, which is basically scaled, cleaned, and gutted.
Okay.
Now, whenever you're dealing with snapper, you've got to make sure that you give it a little bit of gash here. So the marinade actually goes in well. And when it gets cooked, it gets kind of, it doesn't twirl up. So it gets quick flat.
Okay.
Yeah, so you just give it a couple of gashes in the snapper.
Okay. You're not going to get rid of the eyes or anything?
No, we'll leave it whole. I think that's the whole beauty of the fish. As far as it's cleaned, gutted, and scaled, that's the 3 most important things that we have.
Any tips on how to scale a fish?
Yeah, you use the backside of the knife and use it against the scales, and then wash it as you go along. Although they say that fish from the local waters actually need not be washed, only patted dry, then it retains its flavors the most.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So we're going to be making a marinade now
Okay.
very quickly. The marinade is actually chilies, which are fat burners. I don't know if you knew that. Part of, again, the Go Healthy campaign. Green peppercorn, fish sauce, and a bit of lime juice.
All right.
Right. So we've got these things which are a mortar and pestle is actually the best to be making this marinade.
Why is that?
Because again, it instead of using a blender, which kind of just blends and whizzes the whole thing out of it, a mortar and pestle slowly infuses the flavors out of the ingredients.
Okay.
And that's what gives the best aroma. So
Okay.
even most curry pastes, they say, instead of just blending them, it takes a little bit longer, but it's much more flavorful.
So it
so-
stays chunky as well.
Yeah, stays chunky. So you've got this here, you've got the marinade here, essentially, and then all you got to do is just very simple, and a bit of salt, of course, and then a bit of the lime juice.
Okay.
So you use that, and then you're going to just rub the marinade well even inside the fish. The green peppercorn has a touch of the spiciness to it, the
Okay.
chili, and then the fish sauce is a good ferment.
Okay.
Now comes oil, which is, I think, your favorite part of the
Your
recipe.
favorite part, more like it.
Right.
And how much
So-
of that are we using? That's
Sorry?
olive oil?
No, that's not olive oil. That's just because olive oil with Asian food doesn't really blend very well.
Okay.
So we just use normal refined corn oil,
Okay.
and it goes into it, and that's where we are going to be cooking off the fish.
Okay.
Now,
What's going to happen next?
so it actually goes into the pan,
Okay.
and it slowly gets cooked in the pan itself.
Okay.
Whilst this happens, Elham, what we're going to be doing is the next part of the recipe,
What is
which
that?
is actually the preparation of the sauce. Now, the sauce is actually a lime chili garlic.
Lime, chili, garlic.
Yeah, which is
Okay.
again, chili is right here,
Okay, a
which
fat
is the
burner.
fresh. Yeah, the fat
Interesting.
burner,
Very good.
wonderful. Lime and lemon,
Okay.
just so that's a bit of the lime that goes here, and then we've got the
Salt.
touch of salt, a touch of the fish sauce,
Okay.
and then a touch of the garlic.
Garlic.
So we again, we keep these things as fresh and as flavorful as possible, because that's where these nutrients retain the most flavor, as they say.
I see you haven't really chopped the garlic off as finely as you normally would.
Exactly, and I think with Asian food, that's the best part. It kind of retains well with that. So so we've got this thing here, which is going to be like a lime chili garlic dipping sauce, which we're
Okay.
going to be putting into the.
All right. Is the fish going to have like a crispy skin or?
Yeah, the fish is going to have a crispy skin as we go along.
Okay. Interesting.
So so that's going to be the lime chili garlic dip, which we've got ready again.
All right.
The next thing is, Elham, the sauce. Now again, the dip is something that you serve on the side, but the sauce with the fish is what we're going to be preparing next, which
okay.
has the following ingredients.
We've got about 4 minutes left, chef.
Yeah,
Okay. What are the ingredients?
right. So again, oil. And as you can see, I've kept it very nice and chunky.
Okay.
The onions.
Red onions.
Yeah,
Why red? Is it because it's stronger in taste, right?
absolutely. And hence they blend very well with the fish. The
Okay.
garlic,
All
again.
right.
The garlic.
Okay. You're going to add the plums now?
The ginger actually first.
Okay. Why is the ginger cut like that?
Again, Elham. Again, like they say, the finer it is, obviously it gets cooked very quickly and loses its nutrients.
Okay.
So we keep it chunky, and then that way it kind of retains most of its texture.
Okay,
So
so-
when you eat it, it gives you that crunch, which you would
Okay.
not normally get in a
So the key to this
Yeah.
dish is keep your ingredients chunky.
chunky. Yeah.
Okay.
So again, like you can see, Elam, this is very simple. Just 3 simple ingredients gone into it, and then you've got the plums again. When I was doing this recipe, I had originally used sugar. And then I thought to myself, how can we make it more healthy? Like we think across the 26 hotels of Move and Pick in the Middle East, of the Go Healthy. And I thought, why don't we replace it with just plums and honey instead of just using refined sugar, which is obviously not very healthy. And plums, honey, and fish, great combination.
Interesting. I see you are quite at ease today. You're not throwing things
That's
left, right, and center.
That's right, Alam. I think over the last 3 shows, I've
You've practiced your
yeah, I've practiced well, and so that works well. So, yeah.
Okay.
So the plums have gone in, and then a
It's time
touch
for
of
the
the
honey.
touch of the honey.
2 minutes, chef.
Yeah,
And how much honey have you? I think it's about a teaspoon.
about a teaspoon of the honey, which actually caramelizes very well the sauce, which is the whole beauty of the honey, and it's added in the last. Always, what helps for any kind of sauce is always finish it with a touch of lime.
Why is that?
Again, the acid brings out the flavors.
Okay.
So even if you're cooking an Indian dish and at the end of it you've put a squeeze of lime into it, it gives out a very nice. Now obviously whilst the fish is getting cooked, we've always got something ready in our back pocket, which is the seared snapper, which we've got here, along with the dipping sauce. And then we've got this, the sauce with the glaze of the
And that's
ginger,
gonna go
yeah,
over the
which
fish?
actually goes over the fish. So it kind of looks like that. And then to top it up, we've got nice cilantro sprigs, which is again the freshness of the cilantro, the freshness
have a
of
minute.
the
And what's
spring onions and the
spring
leeks.
onions?
Yeah,
Okay.
and then alongside, of course, a touch of the lime,
Lime.
which goes along with the fish. So again, you know, very simple to do. Just grilled, just pan-seared, grilled, barbecued, whatever you have, as healthy as you can do with fish, which is poaching, baking, steaming, frying, you know, stuff like that, and then serve it with this sauce with all the natural ingredients retains in its texture and flavors, along with the dipping sauce.
Lovely. Looks very colorful.
Thank you.
Very colorful. Very nice. Well, that you need to check on that one before that one burns. Well, thank you so much for being with us. Well, tonight's show has come to a close. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll catch you on Sunday when we learn about special programs taking place this month for the World Food Program, as well as more of the unique Ramadan traditions practiced around the world. Good night and Ramadan Kareem.